Not the most important moments in time in the evolution of Sundance Square and its master plan. You can probably tell we're a little bit excited about this moment and about this ceremony. So thank you very much for making the time. We're so glad that you could come out and be a part of it with us today. I want to open up the official portion of the program by introducing Mr. Ed Bass, Principal Partner of Sundance Square, newly titled Principal Partner of Sundance Square, and have him to come up and give a few thoughts and remarks about the project. Ed?
Thank you, John. Thank you, Johnny. Principal Partner, that is a new title, you know. Before that, my title was Upper Middle Brother. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we are gathered this morning in the midst of what has been, for the past 3 decades, the most actively programmed public space in all of Fort Worth. From the Main Street Arts Festival to movie night with lawn chairs and blankets, from fight night with a boxing ring right here in Main Street, to beach volleyball with a foot of trucked-in sand, from rock concerts with crowds of up to 20,000 people, to a whole slew of charity runs, races, and walks, from TCU pep rallies to Super Bowl headquarters for ESPN. This is our plaza at Sundance Square. Through these decades, however, there's been one overwhelmingly distinctive thing about this plaza. It's always had really lousy landscaping. Asphalt and cars instead of pavers, fountains, and umbrellas. But it is our plaza. Since the early 1980s, every downtown master plan has shown this as a real plaza, a beautifully landscaped plaza. Now, in the early 1990s, the concept acquired in the master plan concept that we carry forward today, the idea of a plaza consisting of a half block on either side of Main Street, bookended by one building on Houston Street and another building on Commerce Street. Now for this idea, I'll give credit to Jerry Thompson, whose firm Promoter Line is putting on this event today. Jerry, thank you. Good idea. Originally, my brother Sid conceived Sundance Square and started building 35 years ago. I took the lead in about 1985, and in 1987, I brought in David Schwartz as master architect of Sundance Square. We've had a project account with his firm called Sundance Square Master Plan that has been open and active for 25 years, the longest running account, not only at his firm, probably any architecture firm in America. We still won't close it after we build the plaza. Master planning is something that cities do generation after generation. If a city, if you're not always renewing it, advancing it, it declines and dies. So, but this will truly put our downtown Sundance Square district in a great position to pass on to future generations. Now, if this is a pedestrian-friendly, vibrant district, it's largely because of our work with David. I also want to acknowledge 2 other partners who have played invaluable roles in all that we have done here. The City of Fort Worth and Downtown Fort Worth, Inc. There's something that our former Mayor Mike calls the Fort Worth Way. And these two partners have practiced and perfected it with us over and over. Now, it shouldn't surprise you that David Schwartz is the design architect for the buildings that we're breaking ground for today. I guess you should say the buildings we're launching today. There will be no shovels later. We also have a fabulous team working with David that I'd like to recognize, starting with David M. Schwartz Architects team that are here today. The projects group are handling project management. Vicki Dickerson is founder and leader of that invaluable company. I can't do anything. I can't build anything without Vicki. Bennett Benner Pettit are our architects of record, and Michael Bennett is the lead partner there. A real pleasure to work with. Michael Ferguson, landscape architects, will be designing the long-awaited plaza. And Michael Ferguson, I had not known before we interviewed him. He's my new favorite landscape architect. Great to work with. And the Beck Group, our construction managers. Beck did a fabulous job with the Britt building that I was integrally involved with. And I really like one thing about the Beck Group. I can call up Peter Beck anytime I want to. And that is a great advantage. And then Sundance Square Management, who are the project's developers. This is a fantastic team of people you'll hear a little more about later. Now, I also want to introduce our buildings to you because they now have names too. To the west, fronting on Houston Street, will be the Westbrook, named in recognition of the legendary Westbrook Hotel that once stood in this block. The Westbrook will stand a very handsome 6 stories tall, designed in a Sundance Deco style, featuring limestone and gray buff brick facades, and it will sport on this side a clock tower overlooking the plaza. The Jet Building here, more commonly known as the Chisholm Trail Mural Building, will remain, and it'll be further renovated to make all of its upper floors accessible and usable. To the east, fronting on Commerce Street, will be the Commerce Building. Its name derived from self-evident sources, but it also a name fitting for its style reminiscent of a turn-of-the-last century commercial building. Red brick, high arched windows, 5 stories tall, and flanked by 2 smaller scale facades to mediate that scale with other things in Sundance Square, including the historic land title building that will remain with its interior integrated into the circulation of its new neighbors. Now, farther west, with frontages wrapping around the corners of Houston and 3rd Street, and then continuing and wrapping around the corners of Throckmorton and 3rd as well, will be the Cassidy, named to reunite the Sundance Kid and Etta Place with their notorious sidekick, Butch Cassidy. This building will sport 3 distinct architectural styles ranging from mid-century Finnish modern to early century bank and trust. On its 5th and top floor will be residential penthouses, and they'll be serviced with entry on 4th Street as part of the Sanger Lofts. Now, the plaza itself will be known as Sundance Square, and that's because we know that's what everyone will call it anyway, and we know better than to buck public sentiment and common sense. The plaza is not yet designed. So far we have really a placeholder blank slate here, while we continue to gather input from a number of stakeholders and from Fred Kent, a marvelous urbanologist who has vast experience, a really successful track record, and close familiarity with downtown Fort Worth that comes from conducting many previous workshops and consulting on our continuing developments in Fort Worth for the last two decades. Just next week we're going to have a stakeholders workshop and really study the details of programming and what will be needed in the plaza to accommodate that programming. Now there are elevations here behind me of all these architectural marvels. So after this little program's over, please come up on the stage and look at these closely. They're truly beautiful, but this is just a hint of what they'll be once constructed. I will now turn you, ladies and gentlemen, back to Johnny Campbell. Thank you very much.